Sally Edwards, and in today's video I am going to show you how I'm starting my Pieces of Home project. I'm actually in progress on this project right now. I've done documenting for the first 4 days using the first 4 themes, which were table, clean, make, and door. And I have my photos printed out here. I printed them. They're about, I think they're like 4¼ inches wide by 4 inches tall, and they're going to fit right in this space right here. And then I've also printed out my journaling. So my journaling is exactly what I shared on Instagram. I'm just simply copying and pasting them. I set up a little document for myself. I'm using Illustrator. You could do this in Photoshop. You could probably do it in Word also, or you can just handwrite your journaling. I just knew that I was already taking the time to write it up with my Instagram post, so it's just simple and easy to copy and paste it. And then I'll add this in here, and then on the other side I'm going to put a pattern paper, and I've got some of the patterns from the new Star scrapbook kit. I'm going to look at those and see which ones of those may work to pair with this on the other side, so with the prompt. So let's just go back just real quickly. I want to show you. So earlier this year we did Pieces of Me. This one is Pieces of Home. These are all part of the Pieces of Us project. And you can see here that I did a few different things last time in the notebook. Sometimes I did a full page photo paired with the photo and the words over here. Sometimes I added in, these are some jelly plate prints that I had done. Again, journaling here, photo here. This one this was for the prompt, was eyes closed. I had a significantly longer piece of journaling that I wanted to do, so I did journaling on this side. Essentially, when you look at this, there's 3 homes, right? We've got 2 blocks here and then 1 longer section here. For any combination, you can have, that could be all photos, it could be all words, it could be a photo and 2 things of words, or it can be a pattern with a chipboard piece, or some other interesting combination. Here's pattern paper paired with and I love it just with this simple felt heart. I do have some of the felt stars from this kit too, so that might be a fun thing to add in there. I love the simplicity of this project. Well, a couple things I love about this project. One is I like that it's 1 thing a day. It is a simple way to look for a story. We have, a prompt as our story lens. Words and photo, you're starting with words and photos first. That's another thing that I really like. We're starting with the words and photos, and then we're putting them into our notebook. We can pair it with some of the other products and patterns and different things that we love. But it has a very specific beginning and end too. Here was for full body. I did 2 photos on that one, and then another one I did longer journaling with the photo of me up there, and then the pattern down below. For Pieces of Home, this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it be all the same. I'm doing, all of the photos are going to be in the same spot, all of the journaling is going to be in the same spot, and then I will vary the patterns that I use on the inside. A couple things that I did last time in Pieces of Me that I'm going to do again, I just adhered the extra pages. Actually, this one I didn't. This one's got like the reason why in the schedule, but you could easily just adhere those pages together, which is what I did with the pages in between. In the notebook itself, we've left in between pages for you, in between the prompts, in case you wanted to add something else there, but I will be adhering those together. All right, well, I'm essentially right now going to just dive in. I think what I'm going to do first is just get the photos and the words added in, and then figure out what I'm going to do along the edge here with the pattern papers. All right, so one of the things I love about the process of this particular project is it becomes very much a production project. And what that means to me, and if you've taken classes from me over the years, I've talked about this before, how sometimes we get to do all kinds of creative things and play with our creativity, and other times it's nice to just follow a very specific design formula, which is what I'm doing in this case. So what you can see me doing here is I'm trimming my photos. I'm pretty sure that I printed these. I think that they're 4¼ by 4. I think that's what they are, 4¼ by 4. And I'm trimming them down after I printed them on my Epson PictureMate PM400. I'm using Scotch rolling adhesive to adhere them in. And then I'm also gluing those extra pages together. So you saw me do that a few times there. And next up, I am getting all of the journaling that I have done already set up and printed out. One thought I had, if I was going to do this again, I would probably make the background of my journaling either a color. Maybe I would do the pattern papers first, and then I would add a color to the background. The color of white of the paper that I'm printing on, which is an Epson matte presentation paper, and it's a little bit of a thicker one than the thin one. There is a thin one. I like the thicker one better. It's more of a journal card quality. I kind of don't love that the white is different than the white in the notebook, but it's like one of those things that I can easily get over, which is what I'm doing. So it's something that you might not even notice, or you might notice it when you look at it. But a way around that would be to either print on pattern paper, print on a colored cardstock, just a little bit of something where it's not a white on white with two different whites, I think is where I'm going with that. The next step in the production process here is trimming things off. So I didn't print I think the journaling was printed to exactly the right size, but the photos needed a little bit of trimming. You can see here I'm using a craft knife directly onto my wood table. This is my craft table. This is where I work, and it seems to be just fine to be able to do that. Next up, I am adding the dates in there using my rolling date stamp. All right, so now moving on to the pattern paper phase, and I'm looking at, again, some of the patterns that were in the new Stars scrapbook kit. I'm going to look back at some of the past scrapbook kits that we've done too, and see which ones might be a good fit for the story that I'm telling in here. One of the cool things about these papers that are part of the scrapbook kit is it's already the right size. So it's already 8 1/4 tall, and you just need to trim it down. So that's pretty cool. And I just love the idea of, like, this is a great opportunity to just use some of the pattern papers that you really love, maybe that you have in your stash, whether it's scrapbook kit ones or ones that you've had for years and years and years. A lot of times we have patterns that we're really attracted to, that we really like, and we don't want to use them because we like them so much. This is a good time to use them. Let's use that stuff. All right, so continuing right along with the production of this album, this is one of the things that I really love about working in these notebooks. I did a whole series here on YouTube and my blog with summer stories this past summer in a notebook like this, and it's just a nice size, it's a nice approach, and keeping this one where I'm doing the exact same thing, again, following his design formula worked really well for me. So I'm having fun picking out the pattern papers. I ended up just looking exclusively from the scrapbook kits that we've offered over this year. This one right here is from the Circle scrapbook kit. The pink and orange one is from the Heart scrapbook kit. I've loved having some pattern papers that I've designed this year. It's been a really fun addition to our collection, especially these patterns that are, a full 12 by 12 or the 6 by 8 that's sized to the outside of the page protector. So it's fun to be able to combine those together. As you can tell, I don't feel like things have to be matchy-matchy. I don't have to have each one of these pattern papers be in the same color family. It's basically which ones do I kind of love, and which ones do I kind of love next to the photos, and can it support the story even in a visual way without it being, I'm not having a pattern paper that has tables on it, right? I'm having stars and hearts and circles and the things that I already really love. So again, just using rolling adhesive, Scotch rolling adhesive for those, and then adhering those extra couple of pages. And then I went ahead and just date stamped the next 3 days that are coming up. Again, I'm working on this while the project is in progress. Okay, so once you get the pattern papers in there, then you have lots of other fun choices to make, right? Do you want to add an embellishment onto there? Do you want to stamp on top of there? Do you want to just leave it as it is? I think even just looking through this right now, I love just seeing the different patterns reflected in here. So that is totally an option that you could take. I love this one especially, and I think I'll probably just add one thing onto one of these circles. This one's from the Circle scrapbook kit. This one's from Heart. That was also from the Heart scrapbook kit, and then from the Star scrapbook kit. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to decide which one of these things I might want to use on here. I kind of like the Loving My Home as it is. The stamps, if you got the stamp set, it has all kinds of, this mess, this bedroom, this porch, this kitchen, this living room, this bathroom, this space. It's got all kinds of sentiments that you could use to support the stories. I especially love it like I did in this one. You know, these feet, right? These feet, this is in Pieces of Me. I also did it for these hands, but we've set it up on the stamps for you in the same sort of way to invite specific stories, right? Inviting those kinds of stories to be told. Also, if you haven't seen this, this is just the folio that we have that you can put, probably fit at least fit this one in there, maybe one more. I think we're going to try to continue doing this next year with some other pieces of something, right? And we've got the cute little pins there for the Pieces of Home. Pieces of Me is the heart. So I'm going to look at my embellishments, probably pull some out from my stash and see what can I put on here that kind of fits with the stories that I'm telling within this particular project. All right, so I went ahead and went through a bunch of different things from my stash and can tell you that I loved it. I loved having the opportunity just to go in and find some things that I could use to embellish my story for this particular project. I have these small stitched hearts. These were an add-on to the Care Story Kit, and I think it's possible that they will be available again, any of the leftover ones coming up in one of our upcoming sales. I love those little stitched pockets. I didn't use them during the Care Story Kit month, but I love being able to pull them out and say, oh, this would be a fun thing to use in this particular project. I don't have 7 of them, so I'm just going to use one here. You can also see that I stamped this table on the top, and then I pulled out this fun little set of classic Heidi journaling tags, super cute little tags, and I'm using those, and I'm going to stamp, I think that one says This Home, and then I'm going to use some Olympia, I think it's Olympia ink, the AED Olympia ink. Yep, it is Olympia. And I'm gonna stamp the large heart that was on the stamp set, and it says "Loving my home exactly as it is." And I'm gonna stamp that onto the tag there so it goes off a little bit. So creating a little embellishment cluster that can go inside that stitched heart pocket. I ended up using one of the vellum stars. The vellum stars are actually something that we offered in the travel collection this year. They're gonna be great for December Daily too. I pulled those out and put those in my December Daily box so I can use them for that. And then just used a little bit of blue and white twine to hold that all together. Loving pockets, loving things outside of the page protectors, like definitely feeling that with this little one. Now, I know that I said that I'm repeating the same design, which I am, but I'm also varying the embellishments that I'm using. So I'm not going to use a heart pocket on each one of these pages. So next for me was figuring out what did I want to add onto those other things. So this was a product that was in the Day in the Life collection this year. They are large felt hearts, stitched felt circles. We don't have those anymore in the shop, but we do have a digital version if you like the look of that. Here's something that I considered. This is a quote that we had in one of the, I think it was an add-on for one of the kits, but we also have these butterflies that I really like that were part of the Great Outdoors collection this year, and I was pretty sure I was going to use one of those. So I'm taking one of those, the little mini Heidi tags. I'm going to use the stamp that says Make, which goes along with obviously the prompt. And I am going to punch a hole using that We Are Memory Keepers hole punch and run the same little bit of twine through there and then adhere that using rolling adhesive just onto the pattern paper. I really, really like how that one turned out. I thought it was so cute. You could easily, if you have those butterflies in your stash or a collection of butterflies, you could do a butterfly on each one and do a little tag on each one and have that repetition built into the album, like continuing the repetition. I think that would look really cool as well. I had fun mixing it up. Like it's just a fun opportunity to kind of play with a few different embellishments. On this one, I ended up just wanting to use this happy speech bubble. It's a wood veneer speech bubble. I played around with it in a couple other places. I did a fake staple right there on that last one, and just decided to put that happy wood veneer piece on this last one. I just felt like that was what I wanted to do, and that was where I wanted that one to go. Those may also be available in an upcoming sale. All right, that's a look at the first few days of this 7-day Pieces of Home project. I will be filling in the next couple days here. I'll probably do a quick video overview for you guys with that next week. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.